Welcome back, everybody. We are hopping right back into Hoard. You might remember last time I put our players through a terrifying nightmare of childish death and woke them up as if nothing had happened for 3 sessions.
Yeah.
Greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. And with that in mind, we can just hop right in. So, you all awaken to the sound of a horse whimpering slightly.
I'm going to, obviously fully remember everything that happened. Just be like, I'll be right back, guys. And I'm just going to full on take Adonis and just walk straight into just the edge of the forest. Just, remove myself from this complete situation.
Okay.
Because me as a person, I'm just going to literally no regrets, and I'm going to do the same thing I did before. And so I'm just me knowing me, I'm going to remove myself from this situation until it's over.
Okay.
Axer is going to walk up past Osiris and be like, Do you hear what's going on?
I'm gonna still not knowing what's going on. Osiris is just yeah, what is that?
I'm gonna just kind of peek around from the war horse. It's just
You
the fuck.
From peeking around, you witness, as you did last time, but you don't know that, a rather fat nobleman being escorted by his guards. However, a tense and awkward situation that you seem to have a sort of deja vu about is occurring. This fat nobleman is whipping the horse even though he is no longer on it because the horse has stopped.
Axer is gonna kind of walk up a little bit and stop her here. Excuse me, I'm a healer. I can check your horse for you if you'd like.
There's nothing to heal about him. He's a worthless sod of an animal.
Well, every life is valuable, my good sir.
He just sort of gives you that look that you might give in real life a person who just said a very hippie-ish statement to you out in public, just
Sir, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you seem to be of a very high birth.
His ego stroked, he immediately not changes his demeanor, but softens. It's well, I mean, there's a reason I can afford such powerful security on such a normally what you might call a peasantry's caravan. This is where the merchants of the world attempt to make it big, and yet I am here in the height of luxury.
And
except for this,
we all see it, and the air around you is quite different than everyone else. It's quite obvious, and I just say this for myself, being of high birth myself. I would like to tell you, would you really like to keep making a public display like that where, in the eyes of everybody, you'll be seen as an animal beater?
Sorry. And he... roll for persuasion.
10.
So he is unfazed. He thinks it over, as if considering, do I care about that? And then you just see that obvious look of, no.
Do you care about the merchant's perspective of you? I mean, everyone here is seeing you do this, belittling a creature that is getting you through.
Yes, but all of these people know how much business I bring to their carts and their shops.
But certainly you're drawing the wrong type of attention.
And I just wish that, for you to know that everybody has their limits. You can have all the gold in the world. Somebody will not care for it.
Yeah, you're gonna need to roll for persuasion again. And since you're appealing to his morality rather than to his ego, do it with disadvantage.
Fuck.
Both of you.
Can I get normal because I had Osiris helping me out there?
No, but you both get to roll with disadvantage.
With disadvantage. And persuasion?
Yeah.
Wow. So mine for some reason rolled with super, but I rolled a 13.
Okay.
But I would gladly take the other two numbers because they're 21 and 17.
Right.
You see him think it over, and he starts pulling the horse by its reins, still very aggressively, but he just looks to his knights, and he's just like, let us adjourn to somewhere less public.
Be on your way, sir.
Say what?
I just say be on your way, sir.
I shall see you around the camp.
Perhaps for, some good wine.
Wine? I'm in.
So as they exit your view, you get a sense of deja vu, like something like this. This isn't how it happened, was it? Like, this doesn't feel correct. And I'm going to need you both to roll a super disadvantaged history check.
Oh, gosh.
And also, Istrik is going to do the same thing.
13.
Still a 13 at your super disadvantage. Okay. So 10, 13. Oh, wait, that was a super disadvantage?
It was. I did it on this screen, but it's not transferring over right.
I see 2d20 KI1 plus 3.
I right-clicked and made it do it, but it still didn't.
Well,
roll one more
Istrik
time,
got a 0, so Istrik doesn't even remember what you just did.
Istrik doesn't remember 10 seconds ago.
He witnessed it, and he's like, what are we talking about?
Istrik is back in existence, so he's probably trying to figure that out.
Yeah, that's a whole different issue. He just looks like he woke up from the longest daydream of his life.
I know, I just deleted the axe out of my inventory.
So, all right. So even with a 13, you do not have any clue why you feel this way. You're just aware that, something's off about how this just happened. And here come my dogs.
I kind of just look over at Osiris and did that feel almost familiar to you? That little hobgoblin surrounded by the knights.
Maybe? I mean, I know we could sometimes, see things in our dreams, but I feel like it was too real.
It's quite weird. Speaking of weird, there was animal abuse going on, and the witch, my apologies, Sakura, I'm still getting used to that, decided to leave, so I'm quite curious as to her thought process on that. Do you want to go check on Adine, see if she's ready to wake up from her sleep yet?
God, do I have... Where is it?
Istrik, why don't you tend to the horses?
What spells do I have with this person?
So Istrik immediately just goes over to the carriage and begins to, check on the horses.
Okay. Do I notice that the situation is, over?
Roll for perception.
I'm going to pat the lizard as I'm walking by it.
Oh, my lizard boy. Oh, nope. I rolled a net 1 for 5.
Okay. Nope. You are just happy to have Adonis back, and you're just, daydreaming.
I'm just full stop having a conversation with Sassy Stone. Oh God, what's his name? Bile. That's right. He has a name now. I'm gonna just be like having a conversation with Bile and just be like, so how did you Bile? Who chose that one? Was that you or was that somebody else?
And then his, you notice, you all, of course, are used to by now, where he seems to switch between his, like, extremely gossipy, like, super chipper voice, and yet also then just suddenly shifts into, like, that, foreboding, like, you will release me, I am ruler of this world.
Yeah.
So right now he is in his weird gossipy phase, because you ask him about his name, he's like, well, as you can see, I was one time laying waste to a village with a group of fiends, and I, for some reason, got just this brilliant idea that their leader, who was this barbarian wretch of a human, he was... And, it made it very easy. His people were so easy to turn against him. He was a monster. So, he was being vile, and so I puked acid onto his face.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it. That'll definitely do it.
And I wasn't as strong as I was back then, so I actually had a leader above me, and he nicknamed me Bile. And it just stuck for all these millennia.
Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, that's interesting. How many other names do you have? Like 10, 12? 3?
Of my own volition, or of my history, I would say 13.
Oh, that's a good number to stop at.
Yes. Other people have definitely given me names. I remember a young wench who made a deal with me in a bar once because she could not conceive. She now refers to me as asshole.
Oh,
deadbeat dad.
No, that is what she now calls the husband that was part of the deal. I took him with me and basically sacrificed him on a table.
Was he a good dad or was he a bad dad?
We'll never know.
Oh,
he was never given the chance.
Okay. Yeah.
However, now she does have a child.
Single motherhood,
Yeah.
That'll do it.
I'm going to kind of start shouting into the woods going, Sakura!
I'm just going to freeze up and be like, ooh, I think they're done.
After a few seconds of not hearing anything, I'm like, okay, this will get her to go, witch!
I'm just going to actually make that face at Pyle. I'm just going to be like, and I'm just going to stay where I'm at, and I'm just going to yell back and just be like, I'm not a fucking witch.
As you see Adonis's face twitch a little in a smirk.
I just yell back to Osiris, I found her.
Osiris is... I have my horse back now, right?
Yes, you do.
Can I whistle for my horse?
All right, so
I'm going to whistle for your horse.
Cool. Which one is it?
We're going to walk out of the...
I'll give him a name, and I will give you control of him.
Okay. I named him, at least the horse before. I still have it in my journal as Persic. Persik.
Yeah, there you go. There's Persic.
I can't control him.
I know. I got to change him to.
There's
Persic.
some paperwork involved in that.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Get a file for the request. Good take.
Got a file with the state.
There we go.
Sweet.
And I'll give him a little tag for you. Yours is the blue horse.
The blue horse.
So I'm gonna walk up to Sakura and just, what happened? You left. There was a gremlin beating a horse.
Oh yeah. Shit, what the fuck is that thing's name?
He wasn't actually a gremlin, but you get my small, fat, smelt like garbage.
Are you talking about my familiar, or are you talking about the horrible old man beating a horse?
What familiar? Are you talking about Adonis? I tolerate the undead quite well, actually.
No, the other one.
I was talking about the noble.
Okay, yeah.
There's another familiar.
I just had a feeling that I would have made the wrong choices in that situation. So I removed myself from the situation.
Oh. Well, you didn't miss much. We kind of appealed to his hubris to see, just so that he would care just enough about his image to not beat the horse in public.
Yeah, we probably should have done that originally.
Originally?
I'm so glad we did it now.
I know you're an odd bird, but you're acting even odder than normal.
Derek, didn't you tell me the name of that little demon thing you gave me?
It's
I can't
Tisk.
fucking find it.
Yeah, I will admit I have forgotten its name.
It's Tisk.
I know I wrote it down, but I can't find it.
It's
I can't find
Tisk.
my notepad either.
Wait, what are we just researching? I have
Do you guys
notes.
not hear me?
I can hear you.
We can hear you.
It is the
his name
name
is
of your
Tisk.
familiar
His
is
name is
Tisk.
Yes.
Tisk. Okay. It's gonna be like, have you seen Tisk? I need to go find him.
What's a Tisk?
As you say his name, he just crawls up onto a rock.
Oh.
As he
Very well,
crawls up,
cutie.
I just prepare a firebolt in my hand to throw.
I was gonna
Adam, remember,
immediately
you
step
are-
in front of him and be like, no.
You are totally cool with his presence, remember?
No, I'm cool with the undead. I'm unaware of Tisk right now, so I just saw a small amount of
you're
creature
not.
come out of
Remember,
nowhere.
I said this before I guess I should have said it on stream. You guys are not, you can't remember why Tisk is with you, but you're totally and 100% okay with his presence in the party. As per the memory loss.
I still
and
prepare the
functional
firebolt just in case.
You still want to throw a firebolt.
No, I'm not going to throw it, but I'm going to hold it up.
Be like, maybe don't, or he won't help us.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
extinguish it.
Maybe.
So,
I'm gonna
as you
like
see,
pat him
Tim-
on the arm, like pat him on the bicep, and then just kind of walk by him with Adonis behind me.
So, continuing on, you guys have now kind of collected your party. You can decide who's going to be in charge of what. Istrik has apparently decided to head up the carriage wagon, or the carriage, and Adam, you're clearly on the wagon.
Yep, that's where I was before.
Everyone's underneath the carriages. I don't know if there's a way to fix that.
Yeah.
Say what?
He can right
Who is-
click and change.
Everyone's underneath the carriages, not on top of them.
Hang on. All right, so the carriages will get moved to the back.
And Adonis on his horse as well. He's underneath it.
On character.
Okay, so Adonis needs to get on his horse. And Tisk. And you're saying you're not on top of yours?
She's on her lizard.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on my lizard.
All right. Is everyone above the vehicles that they're a part of now?
Yes.
See.
Yes.
Okay.
I turn back to Adina. Did you enjoy your beauty sleep?
I've had better.
Well, you missed quite the endeavor today. We had to stop a man from beating a horse.
From doing what now?
Oh, no.
I guess it's
Don't
also a good thing she wasn't there.
It was handled. And you know me, if something were to go too far, I would have sent him to see his own god.
And then I turn
All
around
right.
and I'm just like,
We
"You
will
light
leave
them
it
on
at that."
fire."
True that. You hear from the back of the caravan, so I'm just following up in the back.
So as you guys continue, you begin to roll your carriages down, and out of the window of the, your carriage pops. Hang on, where is he?
Please tell me you guys can't hear that.
What?
We can kind of hear it.
I can hear something.
Yeah, I can hear something.
If it's something nasty, don't
Okay.
tell me.
That's what I think.
What is it?
Nope, it would be my mother and my dog.
Mm.
Out of the window of your carriage, you see Bade, your happy-go-lucky employer.
Mm. Still happy. Keep it that
Still
way.
happy, no longer begging you guys to stop doing what you're doing. And you guys just continue down the way.
I'm just gonna be like, man, we really should have done it like this the first time.
What a fever dream.
Well, apparently it's just Osiris and I who don't really recall everything that happened in that. Right?
Oh, yeah, no. So, yeah, like I said, memories are like this. Istrik has been in a pool of darkness the entire time because he's been dead, quote unquote. Sakura has full memory. Adine, or Aiden now, you have, you remember, but you think it was an insane fever dream. And you have like a mild deja vu about like, wait, what about beating a horse? Swear that sounds familiar.
I've killed a guy for less.
Literally. You were involved.
Actually,
And
the only
then
one
Osiris
who
and X-Ray, all you remember is both of you had a very similar dream of terrifying laughter, eyes and arms of like pitch black and starry and like almost like stars, and just this horrifying shrieking.
It sounds like every other night for after Osiris, after his drinking.
It sounds like the nuns back at the monastery. Now they are scary.
So, as you keep moving, you begin to notice some, let's call it, mild social discomfort whenever you pass like a larger group of people like in the caravan. They're not looking your way, they're not avoiding you. Something has upset the nice people of this caravan.
It's the horse beater, isn't it?
Who can say, really? I mean,
as we're passing by one of the groups, we're like, hello, what seems to be bothering you?
And one of them just looks at you and says like, that's the... And then he looks at Bade and he's like, do you want to tell them like what this is? And Bade just kind of ushers your like Istrik to keep going, and thus kind of kicking you all to keep going. And then he just starts like telling, like he kind of has Istrik like slow down, and he kind of yells it to you, like, listen, that nobleman you met earlier kind of has a reputation
for being a gremlin.
But he also, the gremlin, as you keep referring to. Please don't let him hear you say that. And he has a lot of money invested in this little caravan, and also has probably some of the better security on the caravan.
And because of that, it gives him the right to completely abuse an animal.
It's more like okay, better way to put it. You're a religious man, right?
Obviously.
Yes. I'm sure you've probably witnessed a religious leader or someone of religion or of faith mistreat an underling a bit beyond the norm.
I do recall myself doing that actually a couple weeks ago. I met somebody who told me they worshipped a dragon, and I engulfed them in fire.
Yes, and to talk to even your friends. Guys, how did that make you feel?
I thought it was funny.
I thought it was fun.
I wish he didn't do it, because it made it a little harder for us to, get out.
But there's a certain social contract where you're still going to hang out with him and go on adventures with him after, right?
I'm
So
fairly
are people
certain I'm
upset
one
because
wrong
we
word away
confronted
from her
him?
killing me.
Or are people upset that we left him alive?
People are upset that he is still out in the caravan somewhere beating the crap out of his current horse.
So they wish that we killed him. But even
No.
though we killed him originally, they were upset about it? I'm confused. Why are
Wait,
people like this?
Wait, whoa. We did what now?
No one killed him. It simply intervened with him. Bait is basically saying like there's a social contract that everyone is kind of quietly aware of.
They're afraid of his power getting thrown around.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want the nobleman to stop paying for things on these caravans.
So they're upset that we talked to him.
No, they're not upset with you guys. They're just upset.
They're uncomfortable with his behavior, but they can't
They're
say
uncomfortable
anything.
with his behavior, but they can't voice that.
Okay, I thought they were upset with us for confronting him. I was like, really? Because I'll do it again.
Mr.
The best metaphor I can use is, you ever been at a party and your one friend keeps hitting on some girl, even though it's been very obvious that he should have stopped a while ago?
Does it count if it's high school?
Everyone is uncomfortable, but it's no one's job but his own to realize he needs to stop.
Mr. Employer.
It's like everyone's upset with your behavior.
A brief moment. You know the people of this caravan quite well, correct?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
And do you think that
caravan?
Do you believe that everyone would stand for this behavior if it wasn't for his money?
No. No, I do not.
Why not stand against him together?
Well, because then we may lose a serious benefactor. Not to say that he's untouchable or it's not to say that people wouldn't turn against him. It's simply that, sadly to say, beating one horse is not going to set off an entire caravan of people who are used to animals dying on them on this road, on this trip anyway.
From natural causes and monsters, yes, but from a person who's supposed to be taking care of him to being able to... Yes, I don't even care if he uses the horse as a tool. Horse has its purpose.
This is just a much more civil conversation version of what happened last time. This is because last time we had this conversation, you were all like, I'm going to murder him.
Well... vague memory.
I'm just kidding. I'm just like,
I remember that.
Like,
do you believe
remember when we killed him?
Do you believe that if we were to incite the people, talk to a few more of your patrons at the pub, and get a few more members on our side, do you think we can convince this nobleman to stop? Or do you feel like he is beyond that of help?
I don't think you'll ever convince him to stop. But there's nothing to say that you couldn't convince everyone to stop letting him act like this. It's not my business, though. I am a beer and ale salesman, It's
and a damn good one.
Yes, it's not really my job to get into the social problems.
Oh, it's not a social problem.
Bartender.
It very well could end up being a problem, though, because if he starts with a horse, who knows? He might need another horse. He might come for yours. He might actually come up and try to take one of the women.
Or a woman who is a horse.
I was about to say, I like how you said it, and no one caught the implications.
No, we knew.
Or a woman who is a horse.
I mean, You don't know where he'll end, it sounds like. He sounds like he feels like he has all the power here, and that everyone else here are just his lackeys.
And as this conversation is beginning to get quieter, as you see Bade looking over
I take the symbol and I quiet up.
He's telling you all to shush as you all begin to pull up, and the nobleman is yet again off his horse. This time, kind of just dragging the horse by the reins, it doesn't want to walk. And there's everyone roll for perception.
Can I have Adonis and his horse up by me so I can full stop look at him still on the lizard?
Yeah, so he just pulls up right next to you.
I'm just gonna look at him and just be like, you're gonna have to
we might have to move on without Kevin's roll for a minute. Looks like he's doing dad stuff.
I'm just I'm just gonna be like, you're gonna have to stop me from making the same mistakes.
And then you just hear the voice in your head, like, we could always make another deal.
Sakura rolled a 22, by the way.
Yeah, I rolled a 22, by the way. I'm just gonna be like, no, this isn't deal worthy. I'm just gonna keep looking at you so that I don't look at the situation.
So, Adine, X-Ray, and Sakura, you all see very clearly, like, sores kind of forming on the neck and, like, chafing wounds kind of forming where the saddle is and where the reins are touching.
Y'all are gonna make me make the same mistake, then I don't want to do it.
So I'm going to quickly just hand the reins over to Adine and jump off the cart.
Okay.
And I'm going to walk up to him again. And
then you just hear, like, now that he's spoken to you once and knows what your kind of deal is, he's immediately just like, this guy again.
Well,
what?
I'm off. I figured I'd offer. I see your horse is in pain. I could heal him and make him better. Better views.
I don't need anyone trying to heal this old nag of a horse.
I'm gonna turn and look at him and just be like, "How about we take the horse off your hands?"
Well, then what will I ride?
We have plenty of horses. We'll switch them out.
Hold on, I want to see something real quick.
We'll take a horse from one of our carriages, and we'll take your horse and we'll swap them.
Go ahead and roll for persuasion.
16.
Okay. Yeah, that's good enough for me. So you.
I'm just gonna be like white knuckling my reins on my lizard.
He goes and looks at like one of the horses on the front, and then he goes and knocks on the carriage like, "Bade, you old so and so. One of your guards said you might be interested in trading a horse." And then he looks over at you just like that eye look, just like really.
I will pay you for the problem, okay? Just swap the fucking horses out. Before I do something I regret. Christ.
Sakura, dear. I'll handle the transaction. The employer will handle the paperwork and talk about it.
So Bade gets out and starts looking around at like your guys' mounts, and he's like, okay, so to make this fair so that I'm not losing out on one of my horses because you guys have conscience. Your stoic-looking red friend there, can he put his horse on the front of my carriage?
Oh, we have another horse that's been trailing behind on the back end.
Oh boy.
Oh, wow.
Should I... Livy, I swear to God, if this... Okay, good, it's wild shape. Oh my God. Oh my God.
So...
Is this what's actually happening now?
I am a horse!
I'm going to walk up and just bring Adine as a horse.
Okay, so I'm just going to place Adine on top of the horse. Wait, no, I'm not. I will bring your token back later. Yeah, so copy, paste. Instead of it being represents character Warhorse, represents character Adine Draven. Save settings. You may now control that horse.
Lord have mercy.
I can now see nothing.
Oh, shit. Oh, because the horse doesn't have vision.
In her.
All right,
Yeah.
can you see now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Could have just swapped the horses out and been done with it, y'all.
So, yeah. You got your horse.
And, sir, if I might add, this one is quite the horse. It is very tough-minded.
I have my hand on my face. I'm just going to be like...
Very tough-minded. But
It's a
a
lot of willpower.
strong personality like your own can definitely break a horse like this in. But I don't advise you to do any harm to this horse.
So as he hands off his racing horse, or his riding horse, over to Axray here, and Adine sort of just, and you guide a Adine horse up to the noble. Yeah, what happens here?
Does he try to beat Adine?
Nope, he sees this brand new looking horse.
Probably not immediately.
You just transformed. So basically, you look like you're literally fresh out of the stables. Like
You pristine.
Well, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on the other horse.
So you see some of the sores begin to disappear off its neck, and it seems much happier suddenly.
I kind of tie it up next to the other war horse.
Okay.
And so, I know this is not my place, but from one highborn to another, quite a few words have been going around, and I'm glad to stand up for your character as a man of the people.
Well, it's appreciated, but my status can speak for itself. Thank you.
Oh,
It definitely has been, and of your character. So I thank you, sir. I kind of I look over at a horse Adine, and I just kind of give a wink.
So this guy immediately takes the saddles off his horse. He starts putting them on you.
She's used to leather.
And
Oh my goodness.
so as you're all getting ready to go, or y'all getting back on your carriages and things like that, and get ready
Nope.
to leave. The nobleman climbs up on you, Adine. Roll a strength check. He is quite fat.
But she has horse strength now.
Yeah,
So
she
she has-
does, but still quite fat.
I know, but
Don't worry, I will.
There's a
apply
reason
her
his horses
modifier
wear
to her
out.
horse stats.
no, I just wanted the modifier.
I mean, yeah, other way around. I said that wrong. I will apply the warhorse stats to her modifier.
Which is a +4 for strength.
Warhorse, yeah, it is +4. Or wait, let me double check that. Warhorse.
I have one pulled up
Yep,
just because of my...
+4. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
So 13.
So 13. So you definitely start to buckle for a sec, but you get a bit of a second wind moment, and you pull together oh god.
You start to understand why the other horses get tired.
And he kind of gives you the kick, and you start walking, and you all start walking down the way. So I'm curious. I can't imagine you're just going to stay this guy's horse the entire trip. So what happens now?
Oh. Things.
I'm guessing there's a private discussion going on somewhere that I'm just not a part of. But
No, so right now, basically, is Adine is going to be stalling time for us with this man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I'll assume I'm just talking to Bade right now.
Yes, you can do that.
Because this man has no heart to hurt that poor old horse, who wasn't even that old.
I was about to say, once you've healed it, you actually realize this horse is actually quite young and sprightly,
Yeah.
but it is also extremely malnourished and covered in sores around the spots where, the saddle.
I healed the sores.
Yeah, you healed the sores, but you're still going to have to feed it.
Yeah. Istrick will take care of that.
Okay.
But,
So Istrick pulls out some food and out of some of the feed bags and starts giving it to this horse, as they're running around.
and don't worry, Bade. You can dock that from the pay. From me.
He's like, "Oh, don't worry about that. This is already a better deal. I didn't even lose a horse.
Correct.
You guys did.
I would like your permission to talk to a few of the patrons as they visit the pub tonight.
I mean,
Not to talk on your behalf.
as long as my security is kept tight, we have no issues with you guys making conversation.
And you know I have no issue being secure.
And you know I have no issue with alcohol.
You have issues with alcohol, my dear brother, but not the kind that he's concerned with. In fact, if you were paying more, he would probably have sold out the first night.
Hey now.
Oh, I have a question,
Yes.
Derek. The whole mummy pyramid thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh no!
Did that actually still happen?
Yes.
Is there, or we're still waiting for a whole ass skeleton mummy to pop up?
The week to pass or whatever. What? Yeah.
Well, the scarab came by
Mm-hmm.
and made or not made, asked Osiris to take it to a temple.
Mm-hmm.
Things didn't work out, and now
But technically,
guys are
that
waiting for
happened
this to
after
show up.
this.
So it's still happened, I guess.
yes.
Even
Yeah.
though Osiris cannot remember that now.
Oh, he can remember that.
It
He
happened
doesn't
after
remember
this,
the last
though.
3 days.
I'm so confused.
Oh, I thought
that's right. Did that happen?
that happened after we got kicked out.
It did.
No. Wait, that
Did it?
No, that
It did.
doesn't sound right.
Because
It
we got
did.
kicked
Did
out
it?
and we separated for
Yeah.
a little bit.
Oh my god, did that happen? Wow, my memory's bad. I need to
I
watch
thought it
more
did.
episodes.
Apparently, we need to watch our old episodes.
Yeah, I'm I swear
too.
that happened while you guys technically were still in the caravan. You might have
I
been
think it-
falling behind a little bit at that point, but
Did it happen the same day that the whole mushroom spore thing happened?
oh yeah, no, that was still you guys were still in the caravan then. That's
Okay.
you've really only lost 3 days. Is
Okay.
what
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Because from my notes, we don't get kicked off the caravan until after.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I was are we just waiting for a random skeleton mummy to show up and nobody's gonna know what the fuck's going on? Except for me. Actually, I won't even know because I wasn't there.
Yeah, it was just
Yeah,
me
no,
and
no.
Osiris.
Everyone who was there for that, which basically would just be Osiris and X-Ray.
They would remember that. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Okay, Dina. Yeah, you did your strength check. Okay. So we'll just do some role play for a bit. As night begins to pull in, you all, everyone starts setting up camp, building bonfires, things like that. And of course, Bade sets up the bar.
You know where I'm at.
Yep,
So,
everyone.
I leave the
just
horse drinking water.
just for a little bit of spectacle, as we're getting the torches and everything set up,
Yeah.
I actually will use holy fire and just loop it around and just basically channel it to make it look like a dancing fire, and then all the torches to light up for a second.
Okay. So the whole area just went from closed to open, essentially.
Mhm.
You just hit the lights on the bar, and it's looking good.
So,
People start to come forward. You actually. So first to come up is one of the other merchants, and I'm gonna need you guys to roll a d20. Wait, no.
Oh,
Five.
oh.
Well, this is happening. I'm just over here by this rock. Me and I'm gonna be braiding Adonis's hair.
Okay.
And I'll have the horse go over by the lizard and hitch him up so they can drink some water and stuff.
Okay.
Um,
Actually, I'm gonna make it everybody roll a d20.
Including Horsadine.
Yes.
I rolled a 6.
Okay.
18.
So the horse knows all.
Each of you is about to have a different social encounter. Starting with who rolled a 2? X-Ray.
Me.
X-Ray, you meet a very talkative Aldor Polhurst. Or Ern Polhurst. Yes, it is a weird name. I know. So, as you meet Aldor, he comes up and is drunk as can be. Begins talking to you about his old law practice from back where he used to live. A larger city to the east of Greenest. Far east of Greenest. He is talking to you about just like all the different stuff that he did, and you begin to suspect that he's telling you a lot of lies. Whether or not you care is up to you. But he is gossiping and he is talking and talking, and he just looks you dead in the eye, and he's just like, "So I heard you spoke up to Lord Fatass."
I've been instructed not to call him such names, but I've had a word with him.
Well, you know, between you and me, not exactly like a case you could build against him, but fact is, like, in the court of public opinion, I've been told, even by my own previous, friends in the circles, that it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world from a local standpoint if he were to just disappear.
Oh, that is good to hear. Are other of your friends in the caravan with us?
No. Let's just say that I have made a number of friends and enemies over the years, and therefore I am choosing to relocate for reasons.
Yeah, there's a prospect that you could go after. But you seem to be quite a personable man.
Well, I don't mean to toot my own horn here, but I did some pretty good work back in the day. And he is just like pounding beer after beer as he talks to you. Like at one point you're pretty sure, but he spoke one sentence, drank an entire beer, and then spoke another sentence.
It's my kind
and
of
you
guy.
somehow chug.
Well, let me ask you. If you were to, say, go make some friends and share your perspective on the good Lord that we were discussing, I would greatly appreciate it.
That's a mighty thought you have there.
I just pass another beer in front of him. This one's on the house.
He's like, you know what? What's a plan among friends? And he like cheers at you, but realizing you don't have a beer, so he just like swings his beer off into the open air, spilling some of it, and it's just like, okay, I'm gonna go over here now, and it'll sound like I'm vomiting, because I am. And then he just sort of like stumbles over with his already empty glass now in front of his face, like.
Osiris is like unloading another keg behind you, and he's like, "Wow, what's that guy? Looks interesting."
Correct. And I reach out my hand, and just like with the slightest bit of holy light, I bless him.
Ooh, here we go. So now, as you guys are talking, there's some other people at the bar, and one of which is a female shield dwarf, specifically one of the ones that works for that nobleman. And she is like not drinking. She is just stone faced, like there.
But she's just sitting at the bar, like just there?
Yep. Just hanging out.
Who's she closest to amongst us?
Yeah.
She's closest to you two.
Okay.
I'm going to start painting a little bit of a picture here, because there's going to be more people. So as she sits down, the bit further down the way, you see a large group of like, it's, let me do this count here real quick. Yeah, you see a large group of about 13 to 14 like people, including this very loud, talkative halfling, kind of sit further down the bar from her, and they are just chit-chatting away. He is telling stories about all the previous times he's done this trip, and he is being loud, like loud. And one of his guards pulls off and sits right by this woman, but he is actually drinking. And so now you find yourselves, as you've been on the caravan long enough, realizing you've learned a few names. This talkative halfling is a master teamster that you've met a few times on different nights, named Enam Tobin. Or Enam? I'm going to go with Enam. And his guard, who is now sitting next to, your stoic dwarvish friend, dwarvish customer, is called Sulsdeg the Pole. As he is 7 feet and 5 inches. And is even sitting down is basically still like over 6 foot.
I was about to say, I'm like, holy shit, that's fucking tall.
His height is in his torso.
And he's male.
Really long torso.
Really,
that's like tall.
He's male human. So he's not...
Dang.
He's not like a Goliath or anything interesting like that.
Who the fuck were his parents?
Apparently Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh my god.
And all you hear is him say like, "Hey, Erdkin, Eldkin, sup?" And he is just like laying on the worst game you've ever heard in your lives. Like he literally at one point says the phrase like, "You ready to come climb me like an apple tree?"
Axra is going to walk up real quick just with like a towel and then wipe it down and be like, "Oh, my dear, I'll be off in about 15 minutes. Would you mind waiting over there for me?"
Nice try.
Go ahead and roll for deception.
Do I get like advantage for trying to do it like a smooth operator?
Yes, I'll give you that.
Still not very helpful.
Yeah, no. You did do bless. Was that on you? Oh, you can't do that on yourself, can you?
No, I can bless myself.
Oh, yeah.
It's up to 3, so yeah.
Okay.
So 14.
So yeah. So you got a total of 14. So yeah, so you're not total. She's not totally convinced, or I mean, sorry, he's not totally convinced. He thinks you might be trying to like pull a fast one.
Osiris is going to come up.
Looking at you like, so what's your business with the lady?
Osiris is going to come up and be like, "Yeah, exactly. Where are you guys going tonight?" Like trying to play offense and like
And he starts like looking around. He's like, "Oh, okay. There's a couple of you."
Well, yeah,
there are quite a few of us. Yes.
Go ahead and roll deception again. Oh no, not you. Sorry, Osiris. Roll deception.
15.
There we go. So, with that, he's like, "Oh, you're with these guys," and she just seems to glow almost at the idea of like this little like snarky plan of your guys is like coming together to get her out of this situation. And she's like, "Yeah, these are my friends. We're gonna go hang out, grab a couple extra beers, and sneak off into the woods and just have a better time than this. That's for sure."
Dear brother, do you mind if I pop off early?
No, not at all. I can tend to.
And I just grab her by the hand and I walk her around.
Yep, and she is carrying a beer that she immediately just like slides into your other hand. Like, please, just get this away from me. He tried to slide it to me, and I'm pretty sure there's something in it.
Of course, and I just empty it out and just dump it onto the grass.
Okay.
Like we went behind it, like the caravan, so they couldn't directly see us.
Right. You pass Sakura and her little like grouping of friends. You know.
I'm still braiding Adonis's hair.
Yep. And Tisk is literally like on top of your head, like sitting like a cat, just like
curled up in your nest.
Yeah, curl up in my hair nest. Is he heavy?
No, he's not heavy at all. He's like the size of a cat, honestly. So.
Well, a cat on top of my head would be heavy.
A kitten.
Like a kitten. He's like the size of a kitten. He's still terrifying looking. Like I showed you the picture, but he is like the size of a kitten.
Oh, he's so tiny. Ooh, I'm just gonna like whatever like food. I'm assuming I'm like eating some sort of dinner or whatever. I'm just gonna like take a little bit and just like hand it up to him, and then just like keep putting like a bunch of braids in Adonis's hair and braiding the braids.
Okay.
And I'm just like full stop having like a mental conversation with Adonis.
And then you out of the corner of your eye, you see Axray walking off with this dwarf woman who, I'll say that because you remember fighting her at one point, because you are just like, what is happening? Where is Axray going with this little dwarf girl?
Yeah, I'm just like braiding, and I look over, and then I'm just like, what is he doing?
And I just look down to this. So what does a shield maiden who does not partake of alcohol coming to the pub for?
You ever get that feeling that one day you're just going to start drinking because of how horrible you feel about what you have to do for a job?
Well, I work in a pub, so I've crossed that bridge quite a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, every night that I have an especially rough time for my employer, I come to whatever bar is nearby, and I just consider taking a swig. And once I start, I probably won't stop at that point.
I pull up just a glass of like water. And I say, well, I don't want you to be parched through everyone else being, well, let's face it, drunken idiots.
I appreciate that, and she takes it as a very kindly gesture.
Now, what kind of habits has your employer been up to that makes you feel like this?
Well, I mean, and then she like looks at you like, you should know. I mean, you traded him a horse today.
Yes, he's not the kindest of souls.
Yes, well, it's a job. But it's what other choices do I have? Once I get to water deep, I will go find something else better to do. But in the meantime,
my dear, if you need to find a different job, there's plenty of security detail allowed on this caravan.
Yeah, no one's paying a small fortune like he is.
Is your fortune worth your soul, though?
I mean, the kind of money he's giving me could literally buy me a farm. And I could just never have to do this again. Or I could buy a whole new set of weapons and hire some mercenaries and start up my own security force to sell to idiots like him.
You sound like you're quite adventurous.
She's starting to get a little loose-lipped because of just the pleasantry of the situation.
You sound quite adventurous, and you have quite grand ideals.
Well, there's nothing wrong with taking money from people who clearly don't deserve it.
Profit is not a dirty word.
Okay, Robin Hood.
Yeah, she's very cheery about the whole idea, but she's also clearly like every once in a while she's like looking behind her back like,
I don't want to get ganked.
Well, my dear, I wish you the best of luck on your endeavors, and if you need to escape some drunken idiots again, feel free to come with me or my friends.
And she just sort of wanders off towards what you assume is like her group's caravan. And now we're going to cut back to the bar where Sulasteg the Pole is like carrying around his halfling employer on his shoulders. As the halfling describes this one time that he himself, by himself, fought a Goliath that jumped onto one of his wagons during this trip. And of course, you get the feeling of the area that, like, there's something off about, like, the way that he just seems to be continually telling this story with, like, more and more, like, vigor and, like, go ahead and roll for, Osiris and Sakura's still over by her crew. Osiris, roll for insight. Insight.
Be a 12.
Okay, so you get the feeling that, like, a lot of these people are basically, like, just humoring this guy. Like, he just probably does this every so often. And you pick up on a little bit of the fact that there's probably some fiction to his stories.
I don't want to... Osiris is just going to, like, push into it a little bit by being like, man, you have quite the tales of where you've been.
And he and the pole sets him down, and, like, he's on the bar, and he's like, let me tell you, I have been through hell and high water on this trek so many times. The fields of the dead are a dangerous place, and I'll tell you right now, I have seen some things.
I mean, haven't we all?
Say again?
I said, haven't we all?
Oh, but none more than I tell you that. I have a whole team of caravans, and I myself usually have to personally defend them.
So why have a guard if you can defend yourself?
And then, like, Sulasteg starts to look at him, and he's just like, "How you get that? It's that look that says, like, how you gonna get out of this one, buddy?" It's like, and he's like, "Well, it's never. I have to sleep at some point." And he is just all smiles and, like, buying drinks for random people and things like that. And as the conversation keeps going, the nobleman and one of his mages walk up to the bar and begin drinking together.
Osiris will go up and to the nobleman, like, just grab the beer or whatever, and go to place it in front of him, and I say, "Assume you're here for this. How's that new horse working out for you?"
It's like, it moves like a charm. It's impressive. It's almost as if it has, like, the instincts that like you would want in a horse. It moves exactly the way I want it to. There's no fighting it.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I say, I think
it's most enjoyable having an animal that seems to react as if it can understand me. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
As this conversation continues, Enam, he's like, "Well, that's nothing compared to the time I tamed a dire wolf and rode it down this way with all of my guards behind me. I had one of them cast Speak with Animals with me, so I spoke to it the whole way."
Oh, really?
Oh, yes, indeed. Let me tell you, it never gets old having a beast to speak with. They have such a different look at the world.
This man needs to be checked.
So speaking of being checked, the nobleman does not like being one-upped. So he just looks at this, like, group of raucous, like, drinkers, looks at Sulasteg the Pole, and simply says, like, "You know, you seem to think you have quite a grasp on what it's like to come on these trips. Care to place a wager on just a game of cards?
Osiris just, like, leans
Keep
in.
things simple for once."
You want him to play cards or me to play cards?
You're working.
He's just staring him down, and then he, as Enum like moves forward, he's like, I wouldn't be against a quick hand. What are we wagering? And
Yes.
The horse.
no,
That's what I was waiting for.
the nobleman looks at him. He's like, I've got about 10 platinums that say that I can beat you at a hand of cards.
Ooh, $10 says he cheats.
Oh, man.
So,
Oh, sorry. I was going to watch intently.
Do I overhear what's happening?
not yet, no. But
Because if there's a wager, I'm in.
Have
I
I
want
made my
to
way
invisible.
back yet?
I want to turn invisible and know what his cards are,
Yeah.
so I can.
I'm going to see action. I'm like, come here.
so, you guys watch as Enum and his guard and the mage and this guy play a game similar to euchre. They're playing back and forth. The partners sitting cross table from each other. There seems to be a need for like a certain height of number. As the game continues, you see the nobleman getting more and more flustered and irritated, and betting more and more money.
Ooh. Bye.
And Sakura, you start to hear like the sort of like the loud laughter from Enum and his guard as they keep winning more and more money. Do you get curious enough to come back, or do you want to just sit there and listen?
I'm definitely gonna be like full listening to the conversation, but I'm gonna act like I'm not.
Okay, so you're still braiding Adonis's hair, and Tisk is still like hanging out on your head.
At this point, I'm gonna move Tisk off my head and just be like,
Okay.
stay here for a second, and then I'm gonna keep braiding Adonis's hair and listening.
Okay, so the nobleman finally the game ends, and the nobleman has now paid Enum 65 platinum.
Oh shit. That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah. So the nobleman is pissed. And he basically tells his mage, he's like, fetch my gods. I am done with this little game of this man.
He's the one that fucking suggested it.
Yep.
I'm gonna have Tisk check on Liv.
That's a great idea. So
Actually, first, I'm gonna turn him invisible.
okay.
And then I'm gonna have him check on Liv.
So Tisk, being invisible, just climbs around, and Adine, you just feel something crawl up, like very heavy, not heavy-handed, but like very grabby. Something just crawls its way up like your back legs, and like moves its way to like right next to your ear.
Tisk about to get hooved in the face.
And as you're like uncomfortable, but again, you're all totally cool with this thing's presence. You just hear this little voice, this little like raspy, like rickety voice, go like, "Sakura wants to know if you're okay."
I'm good. Just a horse.
You just hear a whinny of like,
Hey.
"Okay, good. Okay, I'm gonna head back now." And as he gets ready to head back, being invisible, you see the knight and the other two mages, or the other mage, heading back to the bar. And that's when Eldkin walks in and decides that she's going to bring the horse, because you can hear her muttering to herself, like, this won't be the last time, this won't be the first time. Just like scratching her own head, talking about like having to throw him over the horse and walk him out of there again.
I'm going to assume this game, being as loud as it was probably, has drawn quite a crowd.
Oh, an incredible crowd, including several people who were like watching to see if like Do we have a cheater in our midst?
Mm-hmm.
So as his guards show up, the noble accuses Enam and Sulastag of cheating.
Sweet Jesus, this man just really wants to get murdered! He wants me to wipe him off the face of this fucking planet.
So, as he continues to, tell him a cheater and says, you've been playing with cards that weren't even in the deck, weren't you? And he's just saying things over and over that make it look like, you really are a sore loser, or you're right. Could go either way. So I'm going to need one of you guys, or all of you guys, depending. Actually, no. So, Corey, you can't see the situation. Osiris and Axter, I need you both to roll perception.
Can I telepathically talk to Tisk, or can I not?
Nat 1.
Dirty 20.
Talk to her. Oh, the Tisk?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Ooh, lit. I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell him to walk up to the nobleman and just give him a little pinch on the butt cheek, and then run back to me.
So, okay, this is amazing. With that, Osiris and Axray, you both get to actually roll with advantage now.
Oh, that's good, man.
Because as this little pinch happens, the guy gets out of the way of the table, and you can see a bit better.
Nat 20.
Wow.
Yes!
So with that dirty 20, Adam, you can clearly see, okay, Enam definitely has something in his sleeve. Osiris, as the pinch happens, you full-on witness Enam, once the guy, mentions, cards that weren't in the deck, you see the pinch, this guy yells, everyone looks at him, and Enam pulls, 4 somethings, look like cards, out of his sleeve, and just, drops them on the ground.
Instantly, I'm going to be like, whoa, what was that?
Wait,
And I'm going to point down towards the ground.
Is Enam the nobleman?
No.
No, Enam's not the nobleman. The nobleman's the one you pinched. Enam is using the pinch and the scream that this guy just let out to be like, oh, everyone's looking at him. Dump the evidence.
So he was just straight cheating. What a blood
straight up cheating.
Ugh.
And as this is happening, Adine and Eldkin walk in, or walking into the area of the bar. And Adine, are you just listening, obeying Eldkin as she pulls you in?
Yes.
So, a little bit of shoehorning, but essentially through a series of arguments, tussles, and full-on fistfights in this bar now, the nobleman is now on top of Adine, basically glaring down Enam, who is now being held down by his guards. And he's basically saying I'm going to have this horse step on you if you do not give me back my money.
What's I turn to Enam and it would just be like, I would just give him his money, man.
And Enam is basically can't get to his pockets, so he's basically I can't give you what I don't have in my hand. But the nobleman doesn't want to hear that, and so, Adine, you have a choice. You can keep being in disguise and step on this guy, or you can find some other solution that essentially gets you out of the situation of stepping on the guy.
Before stepping on the guy, can I just kind of go on my hind feet and neigh at him?
You're trying to buck him off?
Buck, yeah.
Intimidate almost.
You want to intimidate the Enam, the guy on the ground?
I want to not stomp on the guy that I'm supposed to be stomping on, but I want to intimidate him, so without actually hurting him.
Alright, go ahead and roll for an unarmed strike and intimidation.
I don't want to hit him.
I know. That's the idea. Okay, so you do miss. But with that much intimidation, your miss is close enough that you essentially let him know, like, I could stomp right on your, like, I could destroy you. So as your hooves hit the ground, you miss, and this guy takes that as, like, luck. Like, he's like, I didn't get stepped on. Oh, my God. And he, like, pulls his one hand out, like, starts just throwing platinums back at the nobleman. Just like, okay, I'll go. And that is when things are going to get ugly.
Oh, boy.
Thought we were trying to make it so they weren't getting ugly, guys.
No. The nobleman steps off Adine. And realizing that the horse did not, step on the little man when he told it to, begins to, like, grab very aggressively at the reins again.
Oh, okay. In our favor. We want him to, like, lose his shit.
A bit. So
even Eldkin, after having, like, having spoken to someone about the kindness situation, like, I can't deal with this anymore, she's even like, sir, like, master, you need to stop. Like, there are so many people here. Like, she's trying to give him she's like, I work for you. And I'm telling you, we gotta go.
We gotta stop being a dickhole.
Now, unfortunately, the other more intimidating part of this is the mages, who don't really have the same moral compass as Eldkin, have already prepped fireball spells and are now just holding massive fireballs, like, looking at the crowd like, don't come too close.
So I'm going to, just from there, are you really going to destroy a large group of people because your boss has hurt feelings and he wants to abuse an animal?
Go ahead and roll for
innocent people.
Yeah, go ahead and roll for persuasion.
And since I'm saying it to everybody, do I get advantage?
No.
Damn. You 8.
Oh, wow. So they are not dissuaded. They're looking at you like, just like I said, moral compass not quite there as much as, like, the other guard. Like, they are definitely in it because they're getting paid really well to be in it.
So you're fine with all the blood on your hands of all these innocent tradesmen and women.
That's just it. What have they done?
What has the horse done?
And now, I'm going to leave a couple options open here.
Oh, God.
As the situation is getting out of hand, the mages are holding their ground, holding the fireballs. The one knight guard has not pulled his weapon yet. He is standing there, like, not sure what to do. And his, essentially, commander, Eldkin, was holding Adine's reins, but is now, like, stepped back, like, sir, you have to stop. The nobleman, as I rolled a little, dex roll for him, has tied up his arm in the reins because he wants a good grip to really rip it, like pull at this horse. So he is basically dragging the horse away from the bar area, trying to. And Adine, I'm going to give you a couple options here. You can fully stand still, because you have the strength to do so. He's a fat old man. You can let him guide you away from here, or you can run and see how dragging him goes.
Ooh.
And seeing as you're a horse, who's to say what happens?
Plus, as long as you stay a horse while they're in vision of you, then you dragging him is not anyone's fault. You're just a horse.
The only big negative, and I'll give you, like, the options here, is the only big negative here is if you, let's say you change back too early and the guy's still alive. Big issue. Let's say he gets loose and then they catch you while you're still a horse. He's probably going to kill the horse. Quote unquote. Like there's lots of variables that are possible here, so it's a choice you have to make.
I think I'm gonna follow and see what happens.
Okay. So he is pulling you away, and Eldkin is following him. The other knight is staying with the mages, and it seems that they have not yet noticed their employer is guiding the horse away. Even if aggressively, they're guiding the horse away.
This man seems like he fucks animals, not gonna lie.
Wow.
We're not going to go that far. I'm not even going to role play that. Like,
That's a bold statement.
I don't know. It's just like the vibes I'm getting. Like he's pulling this horse away to like a private area. Like,
have you been penetrated? Do we need to
oh my gosh.
you?
He wants the horse Lucy.
No.
that needs to be a clip, please.
It's already done.
It'll be on TikTok tomorrow.
Okay, so with that being the situation, how do each of you react?
I'm gonna try to. Let's see. He's guiding Adine away.
Let's say that he is now out of sight of the bar. You would need to leave the bar area.
How are the other people in the bar reacting to the nobleman's?
Yes.
They're actually pretty much frozen in the fear of... most of them are melee type fighters or not fighters, like merchants and stuff, and travelers. Most of them are not spellcasters. You might see one or two in there besides like yourselves. So most of them are standing there looking at these fireball spells like... Hands up, like, nope, we're good. Not gonna do a thing.
Are the mages gone right now, or?
No, the mages are at the bar still. They have not noticed that their employer has left the area. The only one that's with the employer is Eldkin. The female shield dwarf that you talked to earlier.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand up with Adonis and look at the people and just say, why do you continue to let this man act like he can do whatever the fuck he wants? And I'm gonna try to, intimidate them, but not in a way that, like, I'm not trying to scare them. I'm just trying to, like...
It's just because of how creepy she looks that it comes off as intimidating.
Well, I'm also like 6 foot tall. I'm a big person.
You're trying to instill them with like something. Like you want to instill.
Yeah, them with, I'm trying to just be like, fight for your causes, people. Mm-hmm. Like Christ, you know what I mean? Like
righteousness.
Yeah. Like
I'm gonna actually cast guidance on Sakura as she's trying to talk to them.
Guess what?
Guidance, so she gets to roll an extra D4 for an ability check.
Okay. Okay. All right. So
and I
go
bless
ahead
her as
and
well.
Roll for intimidation. Not intimidation. Roll for.
I would love for it to be intimidation.
the best answer is intimidation, but I think just charisma. I think just charisma.
Oh no! What am I? Would that be like a charisma save? Like.
If you
are you not very charismatic?
Saves are pretty much always meant for like reactions.
So I guess how do I don't have like a charisma check.
Up top, you should be able to click on your like charisma.
Oh, just click on charisma. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, you should be able to click on the modifier and it should roll you like a D20.
I rolled a 17.
And she gets 2d4 from my blessing and guidance.
Oh. Okay, hold on.
Roll 2d4 as well.
17 plus 8.
Okay, so with that 25, you see some of these people like getting a little fired up. Like they're pissed. Like it was one thing when it was just like beating an animal, threatening to not invest in your caravan, things like that. But they're now under a threat of like two very powerful mages. all because this guy is a gambler. And yeah, he got cheated in a card game, but like,
took it
he's throwing a tantrum like a fucking toddler.
And apparently he might be about to fuck a horse.
Yeah, right.
Nobody likes bestiality, guys. It's not right.
As he goes to stick it to the
Nobody.
horse, it transforms back into Aiden, and it just goes, Daddy.
My true fear in life in this stream, by the way, is we're going to get the one fan who is into bestiality who's going to like try to cancel us.
Save a horse, ride a cowboy.
Good luck.
Like, hey,
Just kidding.
I'm sorry if you're that one person, but I'm
I'm
not on
not.
board.
Fuck off.
Sorry.
don't put your dick in a fucking animal. Just don't do it. Okay?
Right.
Animals
That's the
can't
standard by your
consent.
It's a no. It's a
All
no
right.
for me, dog.
Let's move on.
Moving on. Yeah, as you do this, you start to see some of these people get really worked up. And go ahead and do one more charisma check.
And you still get 1d4. Unless you can let me do another guidance.
Okay. That would be a 25, including the 4.
Derek, did you allow me to cast the guidance beforehand? Because she has the bless, so she has the 1d4.
Why the hell not?
Yes?
So roll another d4?
Yeah.
Okay.
My God. Overkill.
That's...
29.
Yep. I can't math, y'all. I'm sorry.
So, yeah. As you get like them all really worked up, a couple of like the major merchants are like suddenly being like, I mean, he might have held me the first time that I did this trip or second time, but like, I have good money now. I don't really need his investments each time. I own this carriage now. And then your own employer, Bade, is finally just like fed up. He's like, I will give free beer to whoever helps, diffuse this situation right here. And he just sort of points at the mages, like, standing there.
Can I grab one of their hands and cast banishment?
Oh my God.
No! You cannot.
Don't.
You cannot do that.
You know what? Is that
No,
what
I
you
don't
wanna do?
actually do it. I was just going to say, like, what if I did?
Okay.
No.
In theory, you could do that.
You are not allowed.
Your group alcoholic is going to jump up next to Sakura and goes, "You heard the man. If you don't do it for yourselves, do it for the beer."
Roll for charisma.
Can I?
He was part of the bless, so he gets a +4. A d4.
Thank God. Hold on.
Roll that d4.
I was about to say, that might make the difference here.
Roll the d4.
That is a 1. So
No!
Okay.
Do I get to help him since I'm like there?
You
What's
can
your
try, yeah.
Okay.
What would
I
you
can
say?
cast guidance on him. I'm just going to guide everyone. My hands are just going everywhere, guiding everybody.
You're just in the background, like doing this.
There's someone in the crowd just watching you and not even watching this whole situation. It's like, what's that guy doing?
I rolled like... a 14, I think. Math is hard.
And
Okay.
did you roll your d4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you let me guide them both on both their things? It's a
Why
cantrip,
not?
so I can throw it out there as many times as
I added it all in. I rolled
You rolled 2 d4s?
all together. It's
But
probably
Kevin
like a
still
14.
gets another d4.
Yeah. Roll another d4, baby doll.
That's another 1. So
You
Oh
are
my
not
God!
useful today.
So,
I don't listen to you.
between your two 14s, I'll give it to you. It's total of 28. You're just enough where you're seeing like these people like finally get riled up. You see that lawyer just like appear out of nowhere
Oh God.
with a beer in his hand, like, and you're not sure if it's an actual beer or his own vomit in a cup. But either way,
I'm fairly certain it's the latter.
he knocks out one of the mages with the glass.
That's awesome.
I look
And
over
he's
at
just
Bade,
like,
and I just
"Beer!"
go, I think you're going to regret that offer with that one.
And in response to the one getting knocked out, he gets ready to huck the fireball as the crowd just overwhelms him. And you all have a terrifying deja vu of a bunch of hands and eyes in a mass attacking something.
Oh, so does he get ready to chuck the fireball, or does he not get the opportunity to?
So he gets ready to huck it at that lawyer, like directly at him. Like he was just going to be like, "Oh, this guy's dead," and then just gets assaulted by like 20 or 30 people at once.
Okay.
Now you see how it feels.
Like I can't remember what show it was, but there's a show where like they do a murder tour, and when they basically catch the serial killer, all these people who are like on a murder tour kill the killer. And like you guys, and then when they're like being yelled at, they're just like, "You guys don't get it. This is literally the epitome of what we always wanted."
To murder.
All these people have just been waiting to take these guards out and the nobleman. And now we cut back to Adine, who you have been dragged away by, not dragged away, you accepted it. You were led away to the spot where his camp is, and he has basically pulled out a like 10-foot like bullwhip. And he is very angry. Like he might give himself a heart attack in this encounter alone.
Wait, the nobleman took out a whip?
Yeah.
Okay.
But all of you are still at the bar inciting a riot.
Fucking riots!
So, Adine, how do you handle this situation?
When he pulls out the whip, I am going to chuff in response and like stomp heavy.
Okay.
Be warned, bitch.
And the fact that you didn't turn back into your druid form, Eldkin looks at this situation and she's just like, "Sir, you can't do this. It's a horse." And from what I can hear at the bar, we're not in good standing right now. And he snaps that whip at you, and I'm gonna need you to do a dex save.
Tippy toes, tippy tap around that.
On your hooves.
On your hooves, tippy tap.
14.
You do dodge it. Be descriptive.
Be descriptive.
I'm gonna do a 1-2 step on over to the side.
Like literally, like the dance?
Yes.
Slide to the right.
All right, I'm gonna need you to roll for deception. No, performance.
Ooh. Make a show of it.
Let me see you.
Okay, so you somehow pull off two things. One, doing this dance perfectly. But you also somehow pull off still looking like a normal horse. like somehow doing a sweet dance move. You've also pulled off that Eldkin is just looking at it like, you can't hurt the horse that's acting totally normal. like she's just like, yeah, horses do that, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to crack the whip at you again. I'm going to need you to do a dex save.
If you don't crisscross applesauce at this one, I'm going to be mad.
If you crisscross apples, oh god.
That chow real smooth now.
Nope. You took so you get hit by this whip for 7 slashing damage.
I have a question.
Yes.
When we woke up, I could not hear the beginning of the session. Did we have full health, or were we left off?
Yeah, you basically just all woke up from a really, really long sleep and had a long rest.
Okay.
Otherwise, she was down.
Oh shit!
gotcha.
No. I wasn't down yet, but like I'd be very hurt.
Yeah, it was close. So.
Okay. So in response to that, I would like to charge him.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yep, and okay. So yeah, go ahead and do you have the Warhorse page up?
If not, I do.
No.
Kevin does.
So I'm pretty sure they do actually have a move that's like charge or trample or something
There you
like
go.
that. Oh, yep, there it is. Perfect. All right, so the nobleman, I will have to get his page up now because he doesn't actually have a whip. So I've just been using a whip off of D&D Beyond. Noble, here we go. So he's going to have to do a strength save. What the hell? Oh, there we go. And it's a tie. So he basically, like, you trample charged at him, and he, like, caught your head and is, like, trying to hold you from trampling him. It's like, no. So he's going to try again. Oh, my God. And again. Okay, so he got two 14s in a row and a 13, and finally failed it. So, yeah. Go ahead and do your trample damage.
Trampling charge doesn't actually do anything. It would just be the hooves.
But now she can actually use her hooves and attack. If the target is prone, the horse can make another attack with its hooves as its bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you can do 2 hooves attacks this turn. Yeah. So, okay, I got 2 of them now. I got 4 of them now. Let's go with the 2
Right.
from Olivia. I'll take those ones. They still all hit. So
Wonderful.
yeah, so wow. This worked out great. As you knock this guy to the ground, I'm definitely going to go gross with it. You step directly on his junk. That's your first hoof attack. And as he screams out in pain, your second hoof lands squarely on his neck. And as it was a lot of damage.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
No, that I think
crushed in the
I think we're
nobleman's
fine
neck.
because the only one that's with her is the shield maiden that I talked to.
And the shield
I'm still a
maiden
horse.
just thrown by the whole situation. She's like,
She's like, the what?
What just happened?
and then
Like,
she just
his
looks
junk exploded and he died.
like she just
Can
looks
I
at you.
trot away now? Can I run away and scamper? Or is she
You
gonna
don't have
trap me?
to. She basically walks up to you and is just like, she's so like in shock. She's laughing a little. like she's
Like,
like,
you don't know the freedom you just provided to her.
like, she's just like, you're a good horse, and just pets you.
Yeah,
And
but
then-
now I'm not gonna run. I'm just gonna nicely trot off into the woods just so I'm out of sight.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna transform back.
Roll
But
a
she-
super advantage stealth check.
I was about to say, stay in the forest for a bit so no one, is like, that horse went in and Adine came out.
Oof.
Hey,
Well, that's not super. You get 3 rolls.
Oh, it didn't give you the super.
Just roll 2 more.
There you
Yeah,
go.
roll. There you go.
All right, yeah, that's good enough. So Elkin just watched you walk off into the woods, and then she's just looking down at her employer and does not see you just sort of scamper past her again as a person.
As Adine.
I never said I came back.
Oh, that's true. You did. My bad. So you transformed back into a person. You're now Adine again, not Aiden. And yeah. The nobleman is dead.
Well,
Most of his guards are dead.
That's what
Oh,
you get
half.
for hurting a horse.
Can we loot his body?
okay, that's what I was saying. I was going to say, can I get that platinum off of him? But I was going to ask his guard, would you be okay if I took what he had? But
And she just looks at you and is like, this might seem a little weird, but do you want to split it?
X-Ray just looks over at Osiris and just goes, "Split it. She did the work.
you know how hard this is for me.
I'll reimburse you. I'll write you a receipt, you money grubber."
Fine. I feel like working for this guy that's a fair enough payment for you. Actually,
And one of the most uproarious and fun nights ever at Bade's Bar commences. Istrick is juggling every weapon that people would hand him. By the way, he's terrible at juggling. So really, it's more just like a raining of hoping you don't get hit.
Oh man, I love weapon roulette.
I'm gonna walk up to Adina and be like, just for once, take a quick glance and be like, "Is this Aiden or Adina?"
It is Adina.
Yep, it is
I'd be
Adina
like,
this time.
"Oh, hello, my dear. Welcome back. I trust you weren't taken too advantage of."
Not in any way I couldn't handle.
I'm just gonna walk up and just be like, I heard you stomped on his balls. Did they just explode?
Axray just takes
Like
his hands
grapes.
and kind of covers his junk.
So as you're all now at the bar having the time of your lives together, you see in no armor and no weapons on her, Eldkin Agatal, shield dwarf, just sort of joined the party.
I was going to say, I wanted to bring her a beer.
I was about to say, and she walks up and looks like Axray, like dead in the eye, and is like, "Can I get a beer?"
I pour it and I just put it right in front. Of course, yeah.
And then she like looks at the other knight that like was working for the guy, and it's just like, "I know I'm not in charge of you anymore, but at ease, buddy." And he's just still in like shock of everything he saw. He's like, "I didn't even pull my sword." What was
Count
the
that
point?
as a blessing. You might have actually been a part like the mages if you pulled your sword.
Yeah, you see one like dead mage, and one is still like just covered in vomit
Ooh.
and broken glass. Don't forget that, but like vomit.
I'm gonna be like feeling a little good. I'm just gonna be like, well, that went way better than the first time we did that.
Osiris, because of course we don't know. I'm going to Osiris is going to be like, "What do you mean the first time? You keep saying things, and you like I don't understand."
She's having a day, evidently. She keeps talking like this.
Maybe it's the alcohol. I don't know. Maybe
I'm
I
just
haven't
gonna be
even
like,
gotten my first beer yet.
oh, I'm just gonna be like, am I the only one that doesn't? I'm the only. Oh, that's good to know. I
Good
did
to
not
know
that.
what.
And
I'm going to turn towards the female dwarf or whatever and say, "So now that you don't have the noble, what will you do now?"
I'm probably going to find someone else to work for. And then when I get to Waterdeep, I'm just going to disappear for a while.
That's not shady at all.
Go do my own thing for once.
Well, maybe we could talk to our employer, see if he has a friend for you to get hired in at for. We might want to wait till morning, though, and we look over and Bade's just drunk, like handing out as much alcohol as possible.
Oh, I was going to say, like, no, we're past that point. Bade is, like, passed out.
Oh, perfect.
Like, he's down now.
we might have to wake him in the morning.
Yes.
And with the session ending, as morning rises, and you all get a long rest, the first thing you hear, like, grunted out of the passed out Bade, who never got into his carriage to sleep or his tent. He just laid on the ground. Just wakes up, realizing, like, how much free beer did I give?
A decent amount, love.
Quite a bit, sir.
He just reaches for whoever's closest. Am I ruined?
No, you're not ruined. And I hand him 1 platinum.
It's like, oh.
But I
And we'll
think
never
you did
speak
just
of this
get
again.
a bunch of customers for life. And he just let him look out at the field of just completely drunk people. And I'm going to just pull up like a little bag. I didn't let everyone drink for free.
And all you see is just a very odd scene of that one knight that didn't fight is just in a pile of men and women who were like not undressed, but
Yeah.
they clearly like got started and then just decided to like sleepy
Yeah,
as the alcohol set in harder.
been there.
And with that, everybody, we're gonna call it a night. Our beloved party is back in the caravan, not being chased off into the wilderness.
Yeah.
Woo!
And I still got to kill a horse beater.
This is
Right.
murder him. We did it.
You did it in a way that didn't get you caught.
Woo!
Exciting.
Is this
And
what
our-
the word strategy means?
Strategy.
We just had to do everything twice.
Yeah.
But
Second time's the charm.
right?
Just be a horse. You can get away with murder when you're a horse.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yep.
We should put that on a shirt. You can get away with murder when you're a horse.
All
There you
right.
go.
Biggs, you want to go over the schedule?
Yeah, sure. Obviously, next week we have next Monday's Hoard 2.
Yep.
Followed up on Tuesday by hopefully finishing up Alone in the Dark. I know we started that over the Halloween time, and we did not wrap that up, but hopefully this time we will. And then we are going to take a holiday break for that week after. And it sounds like we're going to pick up again with Hoard 2 on January 2nd.
Yep.
January
Sounds
7th,
good.
y'all.
All right, guys. But with that, you guys have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.